Welcome to the brand new episode of Disha. The Department of Justice is breaking new ground with its 5-year scheme, designing innovative solutions for holistic access to justice, running from 2021 to 2026. This initiative is all about making justice accessible for every Indian, as promised in our Constitution. With a focus on innovation, this scheme aims to remove barriers and ensure everyone gets their fair share of justice. We'll discuss more on this, and for that I have Mr. Lalit Chaudhary. He's a Supreme Court advocate, and also Mr. Ashish Kumar Pandey. He's also a Supreme Court advocate. Sir, both of you, a very warm welcome. I'll like to begin with you. We have heard a lot about Disha scheme. Can you tell us how will people get easy access to justice with Disha? Number one, and can you just also tell us about some of the components of Disha scheme?
As you rightly mentioned, the Disha stands for designing innovative solutions for holistic access to justice.
Yeah.
So the name itself contains two parameters. One is designing innovative solutions. So, and the second component is access to justice. See, in India, you see the constitutional framework of India is like we are socialist welfare state. So we have a very broad legal framework for providing different components of justice, including social justice to different sections of our society, especially vulnerable sections. But the problem is how to ensure that those vulnerable sections get access to justice, because considering the fact the territorial extension of our country is such huge scope that in remote areas you will find it's very difficult for people to forget about access to justice, even about knowing their rights. So now the ministry has come up with this particular scheme where innovative solutions, especially using technology, to ensure that justice is being delivered to everyone. So first component is tele-law, which provides technological solutions, especially online platforms where those who are requiring justice, are in need of justice, they can access to a panel of lawyers, especially Nyaya Bandhu scheme is there.
Yeah.
Now the third component is to create awareness. And how to communicate with people to make them aware about their rights. So all three components are combined into this scheme called Disha.
Disha.
Right.
Okay. You've just mentioned about rural areas. People there, don't get access to technology much. So how will they get themselves aware of these benefits of this particular scheme, which the government has initiated?
You see, what has happened during last 10 years, there has been a huge penetration of mobile phones, 4G, now we are in the era of 5G technology. So the presumption is that mobile is available with most of the people in our country. So there is an app which has been provided by the government. That app is there. Then there are centers there people can go and talk to the panel lawyers. So in this manner, technology is being used to connect people with the lawyers.
Okay, so all in all, it's a holistic approach wherein even people in remote areas, in rural areas, can understand what the scheme is all about and how, what are their rights and how they can reap the benefits of the same.
Right.
Well, Mr. Lalit, talking about the criminal laws, the new criminal laws that are already in effect, could you explain us what's there for children, women, persons with disabilities and senior citizens?
See, this new law focuses upon these marginalized sections, sections belonging to weaker community, physical disabled person, transgender person. But moreover, these all categories are very vulnerable sections of the society. So they all need very special care. So law focused upon to give preferences to offences related to women. They also given preferences to the offences against children, although they have defined some terms. Say for example, they have defined the word transgender, which includes the same meaning which is given in section 2K of the People Transgender Act. They also defined the definition of child, which means that any child which is belong to under 18 year of age is a child. So the holistic approach is there, marginalized section is being addressed, the law relating to the women is very stringent. They have prescribed the minimum punishment when the rape is committed, when a gang rape is committed on a woman, when a gang rape is committed on a woman under 18 year of age. They have make a definition very easy to reach to the local people, to reach to the people, to the till the tiller of the soil.
Correct.
Right. So very drastic changes are there in respect of a crime related to children. The minimum punishment shall not be less than 20 years. In cases of rape, the minimum punishment shall not be less than 20 years, which may extend it to death also. So in new law, the provision has changed totally. The focus is upon the easy access to a justice, a fair trial to a justice, because as a common man we need a fair trial. We need the expedition criminal justice system in which a poor will get a very easy and total easy and accessible justice.
Correct.
Yeah.
You rightly mentioned that provisions have now been changed, and the new criminal laws which have been already in effect have made sure that every common man, every Indian citizen gets easy access to justice. Now, Mr. Ashish, how do you analyze these 3 new criminal laws that have been incorporated recently? How do you analyze them?
See, he has rightly mentioned, now the focus has been on the justice delivery system, how to make sure that everyone is getting justice without facing much trouble. So you see, there are certain provisions I would like to mention. First is the concept of online FIR. You see, earlier the situation was that if someone has faced a situation where the crime has been committed against him or her, the first reaction is whether I should go to the police station, whether I should report the crime or not. If I go to the police station, maybe I'll face further harassment. So if the provision for online FIR is there, so that technology is somehow providing an enabling solution where your hesitation is being overcome, because now within the 4 corners of your home you can register a police complaint and police will act on that complaint. Similarly, you see, there is a provision in new acts that if a statement is to be recorded before the court, that can be done through audio visual mode, through online mode.
Correct.
So that element where the victim is exposed to the perpetrators of crime, the accused person, that possibility has been curtailed. Similarly, you see, there is a clear-cut mandate in new criminal laws that a witness protection scheme will be provided. So if someone is fearing that if you are approaching police personals and if the case goes to the court and if they have to go to the court, then maybe they will feel certain pressures on the accused person.
Insecurity.
So those kind of elements have been taken care of in new laws. So it's a very welcome step, and it will ensure that the speedier justice is delivered to the victims.
Okay. Now, Mr. Ashish, when we talk about women empowerment and their rights, there is so much to talk on. From Nari Shakti Vandan Adhiniyam to several schemes for them, government is making no stone unturned, to promote gender equality, number 1, and number 2, enhance the status of women in society. What is your take on it? How do you analyze it?
See, that's a very welcome step. After so many years of our independence, the constitutional mandate was always there that women should be given proper representation in parliament and other walks of life. Now we have this Adhiniyam, this act passed, now 33% reservation is there.
Yes.
And you see, there is a popular saying, if you want to empower the society, if you want to empower the nation, you first empower the women.
Correct.
So if women are empowered, your entire society undergoes a change, and which will reflect in our future generations.
Definitely.
So now you see, there are many schemes which are being promoted by the government. So when we talk about women empowerment, especially, you will find 2 kinds of provision. One is enabling provision, where the discrimination is there, the discrimination should be removed, like there should be equality of pay, which is a constitutional mandate, equal opportunity to work, equal opportunity to participate in any activity. Recently we saw that from short service commission to permanent commission has been approved by the Supreme Court of India. So women are excelling in every walk of life.
Yes, yes.
So, and the second limb of this enabling scheme of things is that where they are facing problems, like you see in our country, sexual violence is very prevalent. So even in that direction, many laws have been passed by the parliament. There have been many judicial decisions. Vishakha judgment is a very popular decision we see, and now I can anticipate a future where women will be as good as working as good as men in independent India.
Well, definitely you are absolutely right, and you rightly said you just have to name the sector in today's society. You name the field and they are leading. Women are leading that particular sector. You absolutely mentioned right. But do you also agree to the fact that not just women, even men, they have to know about what women's rights are?
Yes, absolutely right. You see, the problem with women related issues in India is not related to women. It's related to the mentality and the mindset of men. So once that mindset is changed, you will find that many enabling provisions which have been made mandatory by the legal framework may not be required in future, because the mindset is changed. If there is no sexual harassment of women at workplace, there should not be any need for a special law in the country. So in that way, we are seeing with the more education, more awareness in future, we will see that maybe the women, the problem faced by women in current time maybe will cut down in future.
Definitely. We'll resume the conversation with our guests, but right now we are heading for a short break. Welcome back. After the break, we are in conversation with Mr. Ashish and with Mr. Lalit. Both are advocate in the Honorable Supreme Court. A very warm welcome after the break. Now, Mr. Lalit, there's a big question on how to educate people about their rights. What is the way to it?
See, you correctly mentioned that the implementation of law is very important. Since we as a common man understood that law is complex in nature, but the only motive and objective of this government and the lawmakers is to penetrate the knowledge of law, penetrate how the Commonwealth will avail their right through a simplified law.
And especially in the rural areas,
Especially in the rural areas.
Many options, don't have much options.
See, we as a India growing as a big economy, we connect globally with other countries also. So as we know, we have a motto of digitization of this law. The law focused upon the technological approach. It focused upon the victim-centric approach. So in order to address all these situations, address all these problems related to rural area, we have digitalized more. Through the Digital India campaign, we can see that in remote areas also, in rural area also, there were poors who you can easily access to a justice system. They have mobile phones, they have laptops also. So they, if they can reach out to a technology, they can also reach out to the rights which are being availed by the lawmakers.
Okay, and how about the challenges? What are the challenges you think will come in between when it comes to educating them about their rights?
See, this also a issue regarding any law. Any law, you can see there is some advantages also and some disadvantages also. So when the law came into effect, the lawmakers has kept a very clear idea about the providing of resources, the providing of infrastructure. We talk about the inclusion of forensic evidences. So for forensic evidences, the resources which is full of FSL officers, the experts, they also being implemented through the integrated system. One provision related to a mobile forensic unit is also introduced. So government is continuously working towards providing the resources, providing the infrastructures. We talk about the electronic FIR. So the government has prescribed this application which is called as Nyaya Shakti. The e-Saksha portal is there, the e-Saman portal is there, on which you can register an FIR through a very simplified platform, and a legal framework is to be provided for the poor section so that they can easy access to a justice system.
Definitely. Mr. Ashish, when it comes to technology, we have seen a paradigm shift in it, and in past few years we are seeing mobile phone in almost every hand in the country. So when it comes to rural areas, even people in rural areas are using mobile phones. They are very much introduced to the revolution of digitalization. So how do you think, when it comes to educating them, are they getting the proper information, or there is something which is to be done?
See, this mobile, I would call it mobile kranti.
Okay.
This has been a great enabler in our country, and somehow this has helped us in bridging the gap between rural India and urban India.
Yeah, it has in fact connected them. It has acted as a bridge.
So now the situation is, this program which is being broadcasted on DD News can be viewed in any part of the country without there being, even if there is no infrastructure such as direct connectivity of any sort of, let's say it's a very remote village, and even if the light is not there, someone is traveling there, a remote village there, if the mobile is charged somehow and internet connectivity is there, they can watch this program, they can understand what their legal rights are, and using that mobile portal they can connect. If they are facing any problem, they can connect with the panel lawyers of Ministry of Law and Justice and ask them to help them in getting justice. So this has been a great enabler. Now the situation is, you see, in future what we are anticipating, that as this connectivity will grow, another limb of crimes which we are seeing, that maybe cyber crimes will be more prevalent in the country because of this connectivity. So new challenges will also be there. So right now the situation,
according to you, cybercrime is one.
So one is that technology has been great enabler, mobile phones have been great enabler, but it has also exposed our large number of population to new category of crimes. So we will have to see how the situation will happen.
Do you agree with that? It's just cybercrime, or do you think some other challenges could also be there?
See, when the old IPC was enacted in 1860, we never know that there would be a crime called cybercrime. So the law adopted the approach of evolving in nature, the dynamic approach is there. According to this time, according to the circumstances, law changes. Now we have a very stringent and prudent law with dealing with the crimes against, cyber crime. We have also introduced a new crime of mob lynching, which recently Supreme Court also, shows some concern about the inclusion of all this.
Correct. Mr. Ashish, what do you think? We've talked a lot about how government is doing their bit in educating people, in telling them what is to be done and how they can get easy access to justice. But then I want to ask you, could you tell us in detail about what is the role of government and also the authorities in educating people about their rights?
You see, the constitutional mandate is that government must ensure that everyone gets access to justice. And when we talk about justice, there are n number of rights. Some are fundamental rights, some are statutory rights. So now the situation is, being a socialist welfare state, we have a very broad spectrum of legislations. But then I would call it a reality gap. There is a gap between legal framework, the objects or the intentions behind the legal framework, and the people, those who are suffering, the ground. So how to bridge this gap? So the active role of government is very important. Now, how this can be achieved? The first thing is, once you have created the enabling environment, the second thing is your enforcement agencies must be very active, in fact proactive. Now the third limb is how you are educating those people, and that can be done, because I'll again come to that point, because we are living in an era of 5G. Technology has been a great enabler. So using technology, we can ensure that ordinary citizens of the country are aware of their rights, and such programs will go in that direction.
Okay, definitely. When it comes to persons with disabilities, there is nothing in this world they can't do. They are doing everything. Right. In fact, they are flying. So, but somewhere they are not very much aware of their rights. Why do you think so it is happening, and what is the ultimate solution for it?
You are absolutely right. I mean, when I see certain people with special abilities,
yes,
in fact, I'll feel jealous that they are performing so much better. So, just because someone is disabled, it will not should not result in a situation where that person, the child or woman is being discriminated. So, first role of the law is that we should provide a legal framework where there is no discrimination on the basis of any disability. Even the constitutional mandate says that there should be no discrimination as far as the law is concerned. There should be equal protection before the law. Equality before law is our constitutional mandate. So we have certain dedicated acts which prohibits if there is any discrimination. They should be given equal opportunity as far as the workplace is concerned. There should be very inclusive education. There should not be any discrimination as far as the education system is concerned.
Okay, so equal opportunity is one, and second is there should be no discrimination. I mean, these two are the key.
Right.
Okay, now very quickly, what could you tell us about the laws related to transgenders? What information do you have for us on this? Because it's a very important issue. Even everyone should know about what are the laws related to transgenders and transgenders themselves.
Right. See, the question of third gender has become, I mean, very much in focus these days, not only here in India but across the globe. You see, there is a dedicated act which is Transgender Protection of Rights Act, which talks about that there cannot be any discrimination as far as the employment opportunity is concerned or any walks of life are concerned. Now, you see, the problem is that with the transgender rights is that certain parts are still in gray areas, like marriage rights, adoption rights, inheritance rights. So all these things are still part of evolving law in India. As far as their basic rights are concerned, that you cannot discriminate with any transgender only on the basis of he belongs to a third gender. He should be given equal opportunity to work anywhere, to access any public facility, or to use anything which is available to any normal person.
Okay, okay. Right. All right, that's it in this episode today. And Mr. Ashish and Mr. Lalit, it was wonderful having conversation with you today, and thank you so much for being there today on the panel.
Thank you.
Well, justice is a right, and schemes like Disha make it more accessible to every Indian citizen. As we conclude this episode, let's also commend the government for this significant step towards ensuring safety and swift justice for all. Thank you so much.